words. Respect the momentum. This is good. If I can get it on the stage. There we go.
Respect the momentum. Very, very foundational. I'm
Yeah.
sure Chateau has a. This is probably a maxim. In fact, I think it is, and I just actually forgot to add that it's a maxim. Respect the momentum. Momentum matters in game, in every facet. Like if you get a girl out, let's say you have a 2-date system, and the first date is going well. You have to respect that. Don't just stick. You can call an audible when you have enough experience.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are like, first date is just going to be a couple drinks, and at 45 minutes I cut it off, and then I bring her back around. Well, if in that 45 minutes you find an inordinate amount of you're clicking, you're on, she's responding, you need to push and respect the momentum all the way home till close the deal. You want to push as far as you can. Again, when you have momentum, and this is like if you've asked a couple girls out, and I would see this like when I was doing online dating.
Yeah.
It's just like batting or like in a sport. You will have streaks where you're just fucking hitting it.
You're in the zone.
Yeah, you need to recognize that and ride that wave of momentum as far as you can, because it will offset the times that you're like, damn, I'm just striking out.
I can't do anything.
And you'll go through that.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with you. And I tell guys that all the time because they'll reach out and I'll say, well, how was it going like last week?
Yeah.
Great. It's like they hit a drop. Yeah.
Run.
Then they start wanting to change things. You don't change anything. I can't convey this enough. Don't change your game according to one or two bad experiences with rando girls that don't know what they're doing anyway.
Yeah.
It could be a bad drug cocktail she had that day.
Truly.
There's things that you need to keep in consideration when you're dealing with women, and not change your game every time that something doesn't work. You're looking for generalizations, things that work with most people.
Well, and that's what we talk about, even like with Build Your Dating System, your book. We talk about like when you're testing new things out, if it's a new line, if it's a new place, if it's a new kind of schedule of events, you test it multiple times. And then you find that along the steps, you consistently bump up against the same problem when you're on this first or second date system. If you're running up against essentially the same problem at essentially the same time, then that's where you need to make a change. You don't have to change all the first stuff that got you to that point. It was working, You just have to keep going, kind of like on Groundhog Day, that movie where he genuinely keeps just working the steps closer and closer till he finally gets her into the bed.
That's exactly the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's like Groundhog Day, where as you move on, unfortunately, your front end may be great, your back end may not be. You just have to experiment and see where you get. But generally, if you have a bad spot in your system, everybody starts failing at that point.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And like with some guys, if it's an anomaly, this is a fine example. If you have a 2-date system, and every once in a while you can't reach out, a girl will like flake after the first date.
Yeah.
Don't change the system.
No.
If most of the girls are responding and coming back in and you're closing on the second date, stick with it. Don't let that one or two girls that have like wandered off, or she ended up in rehab, or her baby's daddy showed back up, or he got out of jail. Because 99% of the time when a girl disappears, it was an ex coming back on the scene.
Yeah.
And that's...
Or at least she felt shame because she, like we talked about earlier, shame, not guilt. Because a lot of girls will actually feel shame for being turned on and excited for this date with a new guy when the ex isn't really fully out of the picture yet.
Oh, yeah,
or something
for sure.
like that.
Yeah.
So that shame makes her ghost.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
Even though you're probably a lot better fit,
your quality has nothing to do with what girls decide.
Yeah.
In the end, you'll see 360-point bullet lists.
Projection.
And then she's like married to the guy down in Jiffy Lube, and he's on meth, and she's working 2 jobs, or 3 jobs, 4 jobs.
Well, like I always say, I got to have the perfect first date ever with you, but it was through a lot of his trial and error.
Yeah.
Perfect. He had to do a lot of legwork to get me to that first date.
There were a lot of drinks and a lot of late nights.
Poor thing.
But I got lucky.
No one feels sorry for you.
That's funny. Nor should you. Nor should you. It's been a good run. But like, logistics matter.
Yeah.
And momentum, logistics help with momentum.
Yes, 1000%. Set yourself. It's like with anything. You wouldn't expect a gold medal winning performance at a race if you stayed up all night drinking, if you aren't fueling properly, if you're not hydrated, and if you didn't bring the proper gear. The same thing applies to dating. The same thing applies to relationships. You can't expect this stuff to just magically happen if you're not willing to do a little bit of the legwork.
And people really do struggle, especially men who should know better. It's just like your workout. You have a structure. You have a pre-workout routine.
Yeah.
You eat the same thing. You start an hour ahead of time.
Yeah.
Everything. You put your sock on. You put your sock on. You put your shoe on. You shoe on. I mean, it's literally down to that. For dating, you want results. You have to build a routine just like that.
Yeah.
That you can repeat and then plug the girls in. And it's really insane how well it works. But it's, again, just using the same structure that you use for any success system.
Exactly. And you talk about that in Build Your Dating System. I talk about that in Instant Self-Confidence with Women. So both of those are available on our Gumroads.
And the Fast Start pack has 4 books: Online Dating,
Both of those.
and it has Self-Confidence, How to Build Your Dating System, and How to Fuck Like a Porn Star.
Woo, that sounds hot.
4 for about the price of 2.
You ready to close this baby out?
I appreciate your time. We always appreciate your time.
Yes, so much. Thank you for all the interaction. Today was a lot of fun. Today was a lot of
Well,
fun.
that's what we try to make. I mean,
We try to make every day fun, but
Yeah.
today was a lot of fun.
especially when we don't have to be at the gym, just
That's the best.
till 4:00 tonight. But we appreciate your time. If you like what you see, support this channel and us financially at myplayboysbunny.gumroad.com or fortworthplayboy.gumroad.com, or you can ask us any questions you want through DMs or Twitter, or even through messaging here on YouTube.
And thank you to Stan the Milkman and Dutch Drake. You guys made our day today. Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
Aw, Brick City says, thanks for the daily wisdom.
You're welcome, and we appreciate your time. It's very valuable, and have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye.